Right, we're on. Today a miracle has happened, an actual golfing miracle, and it comes in this little box. This is the gem. For full details on the gem, go to gem.golf. It says here on the box, your golf revolution starts here. And it actually does. I'm so excited about this. I see lots of training aids, lots of implements to try and help golfers become better at golf or more consistent within the game, but this is actually the game changer for me. This really has everything I've talked about in the past about Hogan, about Eureka Golf Swing, everything to do with the release of the golf club comes in this box. And what's even better is this training aid actually allows the golfer to feel it. You can go and play golf shots and feel exactly how you're supposed to release the golf club. There's no training aid in the world that does this. There's absolutely nothing. I've tried so many in the past and nothing has come even close to this. This really is going to put you, you'll feel what a golf swing's supposed to be like. But the best thing about this is, it swings the golf club for you. So it makes the motion, the golf club swings itself, you hold on to it and feel it. You use that muscle memory, and then you just play golf. It's just incredible. It also says on the side of the box here, when the gem is attached to the golf club in the correct way, the player is ready to start learning how to move the club correctly. Ready to start learning how to move the club correctly in the most important parts of the golf swing. It's just genius. So if I grab a golf club before I put the gem on it and I balance the golf club on my fingers there, you can see that the toe of the golf club hangs downwards. Now if I put the gem onto the golf club, look at that. In 2 fingers, the toe of the golf club points to the sky. So the club's balanced because the gem is a counterweight on the golf club that's going to allow the golf club to release correctly. Now that for a start is even mind-blowing, how a golf club can sit in that position. So the gem is a counterweight that's attached onto the bottom side of the golf club. This being the aft of the club, top of the club, front, bottom of the golf club. And that's the counterweight. When I take the club back to there, the counterweight has set the club in the position it has to be at measurable position 2, MP2, so horizontal, first horizontal. And then the way down, when I follow through, of course, I'm going to put myself into the correct position on the horizontal as I follow through. Now because that weight is on the bottom of the golf club, that counterweight there, the club head is going to naturally close over correctly. So we're going to get the correct release. And when you incorporate that with the body turning, it is just, it does it itself. It actually swings the golf club itself. I can't explain it enough until you've tried it. A lot of it's about muscle memory. In fact, it's all about muscle memory. When you take the club, you put your gem on the aft of the club, bottom of the club, and swing, and you can feel the club naturally releases over. I'm doing nothing with my hands and arms. The golf club is fully taken over what I'm trying to do here. And I can feel that action very, very well. The club fully rotates itself. I have done nothing to manipulate that whatsoever. There was no hands, no arms. The wrists are completely out of the game. The body turns as a byproduct of this. The right elbow comes closer to your right side on the way down. So everything I've discussed in the past about Ben Hogan is working on here. Everything with Eureka is working here. We're getting the full release sensation without actually trying to release the golf club because it's doing it itself. It's there, set, to there, set. I've done nothing. The golf club swung itself. I mean, that's just unbelievable. There is a couple of different sizes for this, different options. So this is the beginner version. But the main thing is here is gaining muscle memory. Now this is designed by a Scottish golf professional, PGA professional called Fraser Mann, very, very great golfer and good fisherman. He came up with the concept from casting a fishing rod. I'm not a fisherman, so I'm not going to go into that. If you email Fraser, I'm sure he'll let you know how that works. But if you think about muscle memory, the idea behind this is if you repeat the swing 10 times, take the attachment off, then hit the golf ball. So you've created the motion, created the motion, created the motion, got the feeling for it, you've maintained that sensation, and then it'll be 8 to 10 seconds before the muscle memory disappears or the sensation disappears. So if you can hit it within 8 to 10 seconds of taking the gem off, you will hit a draw. I guarantee you will hit a draw. You will hit a ball flight that goes from right to left. Guaranteed. The best way for me to describe that is, you know, when you get these little illusions, you look at the red dot for 10 seconds, then you look at the wall and you see the image, and then it disappears after 8 or 10 seconds. Same idea. Creating the motion. So let's do this. 10 repetitions, 2, 3. In fact, let's start here. Down by the ball. 1, 2, 3, 4, half swings, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, so easy. 10, I've got 8 seconds. Take it off, pop it down, play the shot. A little draw. A little draw. Oh, that's brilliant. Now that was no fluke. My body had trained itself to do that. The sensation was still there. I managed to do it within 10 seconds. I'm going to go again. The full fitting instructions are on the website, gem.golf. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, feel it roll over, 8, I'm doing nothing, 9, 10, take it off, step up, I've done it again. It's a little draw with a half 8 iron. They're both about 12 feet from each other. So a little half 8 iron, that's, oh man, it's brilliant. So a little clamp on the back, the weighting behind this, there's a full science going into this to understand how this works. It's not just a weight on the back of a golf club, there's an algorithm behind this to make this work, or a formula behind this if you like. I don't know that, I'm just purely discussing the findings of it for myself. There will be a promo code at the end of this video though, which will give you a discount on one of these, so stay tuned until then. We'll do one more with the large rod on. There's also a smaller rod that goes on there for the more advanced player. Now this, to me, it feels a little bit more exaggerated than it should be, but I said that to Fraser and he mentioned that the reason it feels more exaggerated to me than it should be is because I already do it. And I get that. I took that as a compliment. One, oh, see, so that's too far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, there we go, 8, I can feel it now, 9, that's better, 10, I can feel how uniform it is through impact. I'm just going to keep doing this. That's brilliant. Take it off, 10-second window is quite a long time, there. It's going to land in exactly the same spot. It has, they're all together down on the fairway. Little draw. Did you see how on plane the golf swing was there? So I went up on the line, back down on the line, but then on the follow through, so my post-impact alignment or plane alignment is absolutely spot on. It's an absolute game changer this. It really is a very impressive piece of kit. So the more advanced option is a shorter rod. So it's not quite as pronounced a feeling, so your better player who doesn't need to feel it turn over quite as aggressively will use a shorter rod. Dead simple, you just take the other one out and just pop this one in. I mean, it doesn't get any easier than that, to be fair. But you can see there's quite a difference in the length of the rod, so the long one's obviously more pronounced. This one you won't feel it quite as much, but again, the formula behind it all to get the weight ratio that Fraser had to work out was not something I could work out. So here we go, shorter one now for me to feel. So there, I'm going to hit this one off the grass. So that feels great to me. 3, up one line, up the same line, up and down the same line. 5, 6, 7. I feel as though I can increase the range of motion here. 8, 9, 10, increasing the range of motion. Brilliant. Step on there, feel the same. Oh, look at that. Right to left flight. It's brilliant. Right, I'm going to be honest with you here. If you slice this golf ball, if you have an out to in path, you don't release correctly, it's going to work for you. And the reason it's going to work for you is because a lot of people, many people take the club back in too much of a hooded position. From this hooded position, when they come back into impact, they have to lift the handle up. So the lie angle of the shaft alters, the right elbow disappears from the right side, and there's a very large chance the path is going to be out to in to try and square the face up. Now Fraser's come up with something that goes back to there, sits like so, hits golf ball, sits like so. So he's basically taken the club and you're now able to swing it on plane, but the golf club swings it on plane for you. So you're there, golf club swings it on plane. Look at that. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm doing nothing. 8, 9, 10. I've done nothing with the golf club there, apart from let the weight of the golf club do its thing. So again, I can take a little practice swing, try and stay within my 10 seconds, feel that. Right to left ball flight. It's just every time. If I quickly go back to the longest rod and explain again, because the weight's on the bottom of the golf club and it's a counterweight, the path of the golf club is going to be correct pretty much every time. In fact, probably every time. So it's hard for me to take the club up here because it wants to rotate round its weight. So it wants to get to this position as soon as it possibly can, within reason. It's not going to, we're not going out there. The golf club wants to sit parallel to its target line. So it gets to there and rotates through, gets to there and rotates through. It can't get to here and then come over the top, because then I physically am manipulating the weight. I'm making the weight come through first. Now that can't happen. Look at that. Gone from here, that just blows my mind actually, the fact a golf club can sit like that. Goes from here to here to here, and I've done nothing. I've just let my body turn with the weight of the club. Go. I actually find it good just above the ball, then my feet are where I'm going to be when I play the shot. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Look at the plane. 10. Up one line, down the same line. Up one line, down the same line. Up one line. There we go. Nice little song that. Again. Oh man. Right, this is good. I've heard a rumour. It's not a rumour. I know the guy who's done this. So some guy's taken this and he plays in between shots. So in between shots he walks down the fairway and he's got a gem on his golf club. So he has a golf club in his bag with a gem in place. He turns his power caddy on, lets the power caddy go, and he walks down the fairway, just feeling it. Just walks down the fairway, feeling the motion. And then of course when he gets to the actual shot, he's prepped up. He's ready. Just puts that club back in the bag, takes the club out and hits the shot. Whew. There's also a small rod. The smallest rod goes on the front of the golf club as opposed to the aft of the golf club, and you can hit balls with this on. So you can hit balls with the smallest rod on. You'll see the difference in size. The small rod goes on the top of the golf club. You do not put the weight on, but it's for short game, so you can feel when you're playing little chip shots, you can see where the club is. This is a visual aid to get to the top. That's a visual aid there to go to the top, so you know your short game, you're releasing the club correctly. But as I say, you can hit balls with this on. Ian Woosnam, there's videos of Ian Woosnam using this for his short game, playing little wedge shots just there to there, and it's a visual aid of watching there to there. Check you're getting into that correct position there. You can place a tee in, golf ball on top, so we're in a great position there. So just again another good visual aid to ensure that you're getting that toe of the golf club to the sky, and of course that would also alternate itself through to be in that position on the top as well. As we know, when teaching golf or practicing golf, these are all little visual aids. So seeing that up there to there, there to there, I guess you could use that for fuller shots. Visually watching, once you've got the feel for, visually watching and then feel, right to left strike again. It's just incredible. I actually like the long one. The longest rod of them all obviously pronounces it even more. I feel more suited, to be honest, with the middle-sized rod on the back of the golf club, but the long one there, it just brings it back to normal. Just a little bit better understanding of how the golf club's supposed to work through impact, and it's swinging itself, so it exaggerates the motion just a fraction more for me to feel it. And then when I swing the middle rod, if you like, I get the best sensation or the best results because it's closer to my swing as it is. But if you are a slicer of the golf ball, this is it for you. Long rod, feel that, feel that, feel that. Just keep feeling that. As I mentioned before, there's a promo code, Steve Johnson GEM. Go to gem.golf, Steve Johnson GEM, you'll get a discount off this training aid. I think this could change golf. I think this could change the way people learn golf. Beginners, people who are struggling with a left to right ball flight, This fully releases the golf club for you without you even having to do anything. You just do that, you step up and repeat the motion. And that's beside those ones that are just 6 feet apart from each other. Love it, absolutely love it. So there we go, Gem Golf, and a gem it is. I think it's absolutely, it does say your golf revolution starts here. This is a revolution within the golf industry. Comes in the box, comes with a little bag to keep your bits and bobs in, 3 rods, 1 ball. There's also obviously the attachment which goes onto the golf club, dead simple. Little aluminium link that clips onto your club, like so. So you've got the bracket, 3 rods, 1, 2, 3 rods. The ball comes in the box with a bag, and there's a piece of funky paper which gives you the chance to recycle and help the planet. Hey. So for more information and another guide on how to use the golf club, that was just my experience of it. I think it's absolutely fantastic. I can't recommend it highly enough. If you've got a few quid to spend, you want to save money, Steve Johnson GEM is the promo code. Go to gem.golf. There's more information on the product there, obviously. That's where you can buy it. You can only buy it online. And I wish you luck with your gem. It will change your game. If you honestly, if you want a right to left ball flight and understand how to release the golf club without even having to release the golf club, I would head there now. Links in the box below. Obviously I'll put the promo code in the box below as well. And just take your game to the next level. Thanks to Fraser Mann. Enjoy.
Needs a lot more than that. Yeah. Thanks for clicking the video today. I'm with Lee Dietrich in Duarte. How's it going?
How you doing? Nice to be here.
Lee is a guy that I've had on the channel for a long while, and I've known for a while, and he's one of the best golf instructors when it comes to putting everything together, because Lee has really seen it all in almost 40 years of golf instruction and playing. So Lee, one of the things that you saw is you saw me using the gem on my channel, and then one of your students brought you one and said, hey, what do you think about it? Give me your expert opinion on this.
The gentleman that brought it to me was Bob Williams, who's a Pasadena club fitter.
Yeah.
And he had a lady named Lori Merton who won the U.S. Open, and she had sent this to his daughter.
Oh, okay.
And they were playing with it, and in the fact that she really liked the trainer. And then he brought it over to me and had me do it, and then this was probably a month after I saw you working with it.
Okay.
In that one video you had on. And you had the sense that you were trying to get the wobble out of what was going here.
Yeah.
And in order to get that, you had to feel like you brought this thing in, the ball in toward your crotch a little bit.
Yeah, to recap that, I felt, because it was always wobbling. And to recap that, I felt like here, and I felt like if this was a curved thing, I'm taking it and I'm kind of casting it and rolling, like basically doing this motion here. Felt like that's going into my leg as I'm coming down. And when I did that, it was a stable release. And I didn't really understand why, but that was my only feeling, is that if I shut it and cast it at the top a little bit as I'm swinging into the left arm, that kind of stabilized things. So
go back up to the top.
What's your idea about why this happens?
I'm gonna try to give you what my take is on why this works.
Okay.
Go back up top. Okay, when you got here, you had 2 guys that almost said the same thing. One was John Sinclair, and John Sinclair said that the tour pros in this going from P4 to P5, they're almost all gonna uncock, they're gonna honor deviate or uncock the left wrist, which if gone far enough, squares the face.
Yeah, they work, like his big thing that he'll say is Shane Lowry's like this and he goes that way. John Rahm's like this and he goes that way, but everybody's going
back that way. So go back up top there. So what happens whenever you do this uncocking, so John Sinclair did it like this. The unclocking part I got from one of your videos from Monty Seinboom.
Yeah.
Down to here, well now I get down to here, put your other hand on. Now because the face is closed, you're not like this.
Yeah.
When you get this ball on this side, that's when you get the wobble.
Okay, when you come down with when you start with an open face and you have to shut it late,
shut it down, below, down in this area. Whereas if you shut it early, now swing through. Yeah. Now you don't have the wobble nearly as much as what you had it before, if at all.
Shut it or square it early.
Yeah.
I'm going to try that a couple times.
Feel different?
Yeah, it does. A big thing, a term in golf before was like educated hands.
Yeah.
And like you could get all the body motions correct, but if the hands don't know like kind of what to do, it's all for nothing. Yeah, there definitely has to be a little that, and then and then you
It's
do that
funny.
and then close it with your body.
I
There's
never
no wobble.
noticed this before. Whenever Scotty Scheffler, they had him on making practice swings.
Yeah,
Yeah, he kind of has a little bit of a toss here, like Monty does.
in his practice swings.
No, well, when he makes his transition ball
Yeah.
like this. Okay, that's what I feel.
I think the extreme of this would be Scott Piercy goes like this. Have you ever seen his one?
Yeah,
He goes
no,
like this.
not,
and then-
I don't recognize
Yeah,
him.
yeah,
It's the same
right.
deal, but I know that with today's players,
Yeah.
they have less rate of closure at the bottom because they're squaring it
Earlier.
in transition.
You had said some of these ideas years ago, and there's something that you made.
Okay, this I'm not sure the date. This was probably after I started teaching, so I'm guessing it's in the 80s. And this, what I want to tell you, will guarantee that. I had an aluminum shaft one day in my hand, and I went like this and put it over my knee.
Out of anger or just out of curiosity?
I was just
okay.
and I was not anger. But
Yeah.
what happened was when I swung it, it turned. I'm holding this really loose, and it rotated because this was went up on an angle. Now, so then I went back and looked at stuff, and we had a Matzy swinger that was really heavy.
Yeah.
Okay, and I had a friend, Sam Osborne, who was pretty handy with tools. He came back a week later and showed me this. He put a grip on the end of a 1/2-inch piece of pipe, and he put a little bit lighter weight on the end of it.
Yeah.
So that was, we called it the Pro Release because that let me feel that release down through the bottom. Well, fast forward 30 years,
Yeah.
and I don't want to feel as much rotation in my hands down there.
Yeah.
And I took it out. I got about 6 of these in a box in the garage, and that's all that's left. And I just turned it over.
Yeah.
And now when I swing back, the face feels more square to the arc. It's just a little. I mean, it's crazy.
And similar, like people ask me about the gem and things like that, and it's similar to this. Is for me, the gem feels like a takeaway tool.
Yeah,
about
you talked
80%.
about that being a takeaway tool. I
And
have never thought about it that way.
This feels like, because normally I'll be tucked under and bent right arm, and this feels so natural to just go like this. And that's the thing that I like about, especially the heavier bar on the gem, where you can go, if I just keep this down
Let
and
me ask
react
you
to
a
the weight
question.
of it. Yeah.
Have you ever done the gem with that ball sticking up in the air?
No, never. We can try. Got
Now
it.
make your takeaway with the gem. Does it feel the same?
It feels really unstable. So it feels like, it feels like it's different. Before, that's almost kind of helping you and you kind of guide with it.
Yeah.
And this is like, hey, if you do something wrong, it punishes you. So more of, so,
Well,
but
that may
but
not
it's a
be the
similar,
way we want to use
no,
the gem.
no, it's a similar feeling. I wouldn't use it for the downswing, but I really like it for this part because you just never would.
Well, that's what
do
I mean.
that.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying, just for your takeaway.
Yeah, right here. I mean, Mike can see how much wider and on plane that is, and that's just easy. I could close my eyes and do this 1,000 times, and it's going to be right there
So
every
there
time.
may be another use for the gem.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, definitely. I like that.
There's a golf professional in Tennessee, I believe, named VJ Trolio. And he's
Yeah,
the
he's
guy,
in Mississippi at Old Waverly.
Okay,
Yeah.
he designed the putting arc.
Yeah.
Well, then he went back in and he had a video and a book called Hogan's Final Missing Piece.
Okay.
And it really dealt with the pivot in that what Hogan did was he moved about an inch this way and then he recentered, which is kind of what we've done with Dr. Quad and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We're going to move a little bit recentered, so that way he could rotate as much as he wanted to.
Yeah.
Well, then he came out with another one with
This is really interesting.
an
yeah.
additional book, what somebody did. And this goes back to what we did with the gym.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's kinda
I
how
didn't.
the
This is
hands
not
work at the top.
done the way it was, but we'll have to go with this. I took this hula hoop. I got my golf grip on it here, and I would teach this in the past with somebody just like that to get them to feel because of the weight of the hoop, you can't go over.
Yeah, like staying
you
on
have
plane
to come
that way.
underneath and be on plane.
Yeah.
Well, what happened, what this guy had in
But
this,
when you do this, like kind of go towards the bottom, just doing that only.
see
If
the
this
face
is
was
the
wide
face,
open.
That'd be wide open, yeah.
And what they did is they put a ping pong paddle on the end.
Okay.
Okay, so what they said you had to do is this. You go up, and if I do what we did with the Jim, John Sinclair,
Yeah.
and Monty, this wrist is going to uncock and roll, and what happens is the hoop goes over my head and brings me back into square.
Now, see that angle right here, Mike, as he's like that. Now you're open with the body and the face is square. That's cool. I'm gonna try that. So just take it up and just do it the wrong way at first.
There's holding the face up, and you can't get that thing out of the way.
No. So, but if I go here and
Then you come back to square. I mean, I would just let it come back to square. You're bringing that back to square. with
I
what
got
you-
to do it earlier.
There you go. And see, what I would say to you, go back
Gosh,
to
and then look how much your elbow really stays in. What were we saying,
you-
Lee?
this wrist can be bent or flattish. I prefer flat. Some people like to be slightly bent. But when you radial deviate this, I'm talking about ulnar deviate it, which
Okay,
is basically uncocking the wrist.
Like a casting kind of feel?
Kind of feel, but it's not casting because you're moving everything down. This is opening to there, and if you go down to where this is slightly arched, that face will be closed. The face will be back to square,
Square to the square to the plane.
square to the arc,
Square to the arc. Okay.
coming through like this, and we're going this way.
Okay, so I need to go here.
Which is
and
everything
feel.
you've done in your on your site. And the other thing is you've got this wrist uncocking and going to arched. The right wrist, which is the key, is still bent.
Mm-hmm.
So when you come back into here, that's your impact. That's what we did at the first school down at the Grand in that
Right.
one little video I did with you.
You with the gutter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and this came from something that I learned from Mac O'Grady years and years ago. I want to feel like this forearm
Yeah.
points out there to the gutter as it's coming down. So as you're up here,
Okay.
go back up. Now get that forearm down to so it's pointing at that yellow or red stake. Keep going. You see now you're underhanded,
Oh yeah.
and now you're coming through. So when you get to here, when I get right to here, if I can take this club, this is pointing toward that. You could use the target line, but in actuality, it's inside the target line. From here, I want that forearm to point back there as quick as possible so I can get the club down this way. So the club,
Just try that again, Lee. Oh,
Go.
yeah. I got it. Here.
now throw it. There. That's there. You see, now you're right
Oh
into
yeah.
there.
That needs a lot more than that. Yeah. That's cool.
I mean, but the gem does the same.
Yeah.
To me,
If you don't want it to wobble, that's the move you have to make.
I think
Yeah.
that's my opinion.
All right, so we're gonna try the classic gem thing here. I have this on my 3-iron, which is not that great. So,
You want to? That's the 6.
yeah, I'll use this one. So just do this a couple times, and more than anything else though, like when people do it, it's like, well, how do I get it not to wobble? More than anything is you just want to ask yourself, like athletically figure it out, you know, and you'll start to see some of these same things.
But you did it by taking the ball in toward the inside of your left thigh.
Yeah, because what happened was I was swinging this in the back patio, and my wife said, "Aren't you going to hit yourself with that?" And I said, "No, I'll be all right." And I wasn't having a lot of success with it, and because I'm a husband, I want to do the opposite of what my wife said. So Will here's like, you know what? I am going to hit myself with this thing. And when I did this,
Everything. Then you
it
could.
didn't wobble, and it really came through nice. Okay, 4, 5, 6. It wobbled. 7.
Feel different?
Yes. All right, so that's what they say to do. Do 10 of these and then hit a shot. You've got the Kung Fu grip. Can you see if you can get that off?
Feel different?
Yeah, it does. It feels so much more open and then through this way. Okay. First shot of the day.
It's pretty
That's good.
nice push draw.
Yeah. Really good. If I do those two things together, kind of the hands of the gym with some of the stuff that Dr. Scott and Dr. Kwan talk about,
You
it's
got
a good combo.
You got a winner. That's a combination you want.
I like that one better. That was really good.
Good.
So if you guys are interested in the gym, there's a discount if you use the promo code in the description to this video, and there's a special link for it. It really helps you out there. Something really exciting that Lee and I have going on is we're going to be doing a golf school on April 3rd and 4th at the Grand in San Diego. It's a beautiful private club with a facility designed by Phil Mickelson, a short game facility and a range. And Dr. Scott Lynn, the world's foremost expert in ground forces and how the golfers are using the ground, he's going to have his swing catalyst plate there. And Lee will be there, Ed Laster will be there, I'll be there, and a very small group of golfers. So go to bebettergolf.net/school to see information about that. And thanks for watching. Bye. Really exciting announcement that I was talking to Dr. Scott, and we are going to be doing a Be Better Golf School at the Grand Golf Club in San Diego on April 3rd and 4th. Dr. Scott is going to be there with his Swing Catalyst dual force plate, the same one that he just used in the last month with Colin Morikawa and Tony Finau and other PGA Tour players. He's going to have that down there with his Foresight machine, and the great coach Lee Dietrich will also be there for a Be Better Golf School. It's going to be a very small school. There's only going to be about 6 or 7 students there for 2 days, really getting deep into the forces that you can create to make your most powerful and consistent golf swing. It's really something that you can't just figure out on your own, because you can't really ever guess it. You have to be able to see what's going on under the hood of your swing, and the best way to do that is using the Swing Catalyst plate and also the expertise of Dr. Scott, the #1 ground reaction force scientist in golf. So really exciting opportunity. Go to bebettergolf.net/school or send me an email with any questions to contactbebettergolf@gmail.com. Lots of new videos coming out with Scott, Lee, and Mike Malaska, and Blake Cannon, and a bunch of other things coming up on Be Better Golf that you're going to want to see. So click the subscribe button. Thanks. Bye.
This is the connector that fits onto your golf club. You tighten it using the two screws to suit. This is the weighted ball that fits onto the rod of your gem, rod 1 and 2. This is rod 1, the longest out of the 3 rods. It fits into the connector, and the other end you fit the weighted ball onto. This is the medium rod that fits into the connector on the club, and on the other end you fit on the weighted ball. This is the smallest out of the 3 rods. This fits directly into the connector and is used without a weight being attached. The gem is a weighting system that fits onto your golf club that makes you move your body along with the club in the correct way. Golf's essential move is a name that we came up with because the essential positions in the golf swing is exactly what the gem does. Golf's essential move came from an idea I picked up on when I was on a fishing holiday. I got a tip from the gilly who was helping me with my casting, and I took that idea back to my shop, into my workshop, and I came up with an attachment that went onto my golf club that was visual, and it also had weight in it that gave me feel. Once you have the shortest shaft fitted onto the top of the club, you have to make sure that you have it parallel with the leading edge of the club face. And then quite simply from here, you're working on waist height, setting the club that the shaft is pointing straight up in the air. If it is pointing to this way, the club face is closed. If it's pointing this way, the club face is open. And then from this position here, once you get to this position, it becomes very easy to come back and hit the ball.
Letting your arms and hands follow. But this is the first movement. There.
Hi, it's Fraser Mann from Gem Golf here. Today I want to explain about a very important person in my golfing life, Ben Hogan. Got my Ben Hogan hat on. Thing growing up from a young golfer in Carnoustie was my hometown. Everybody talked about Ben Hogan winning the Open in 1953, the only time that he actually played in the British Open, and he won it on arguably the hardest championship course. As I grew in my golf and I became a golf pro in the late 1970s, early 1980s, I'd always been drawn to the Hogan name. I had Hogan equipment, I sold Hogan equipment in my shop. As I progressed through my career playing, revisited the Hogan name again through his books. In 2002, one winter, I changed my grip as Hogan did. I changed how I moved the club in my backswing, and at the age of 42 I played the best golf of my life. And in that year, 2002, I won all the major events in Scotland. And since then I've progressed on to winning British Seniors Championships, Scottish Seniors Championships. I'm very dedicated to my game. I love playing golf. The gem move that I have studied and invented has helped me hit the ball better all the time. I hit the ball consistently straight and explain to you how Hogan and gem work together. Now I've got my gem hat on, I want to explain what gem and the Ben Hogan movement swing has in common. One of the first things that I did to improve my own game was to mimic Hogan's right hand position on the club. And one of the things that you'll be able to do with the gem using the short rod is to attach it so that it sits on top of the club and it's lined up parallel with the leading edge of the club. So one of the things I worked on was imagining that the T that I've just put in the top there and the T and the V in my right hand were parallel. If the T is parallel to the gem at the bottom of the grip, it will be parallel with the leading edge of the club face. What this allows me to do, it allows me to rotate and move the club into the toe-up position in the backswing, and I can then release the club through impact into the follow-through position. This movement here with the right hand just taught me how to turn my body. I have to turn my body to get the club to work on plane as Hogan did. And again, many of Hogan's great drawings that he has in many of his books very much shows the position of the club in the backswing, and how you can see that at impact his right forefinger is putting pressure and releasing the club coming through. So that's one of the key things that helped me when I invented the gem, was to have my hand in exactly the same position all the time. If it's not there, it's hard then to actually see where my hand is, because then I am that much further away from the club head. So it's harder to actually line it up if I'm looking at the club head. Number two is by putting the longer rod on the club. What this helps me to do is that when I take the club back to waist height in the backswing, it puts the club in a toe-up position. This helps to get my right elbow into my side, pointing down towards my hip, and then from there I'm able to then release the club back square to the ball at impact, and then it will automatically go through into toe-up position in the follow through. The Gem is the only swing aid that will automatically put the club into the neutral toe up position and into the toe up position on the backswing. If you remove it, the club will not sit, it will only sit toe down, as every golf club without a weight attached would do this. What this will encourage is that in the swing, once you have the club set in the backswing, then you're able to unwind through the shot, and then you gradually just get longer and longer, and your swing will be on line from waist height to ball to waist height, and that is the key move in the swing. Hogan often practiced 3/4 shots of just taking the club back to just past waist height and then just through, and he mastered the solid contact every single time, and he was able to use his hands along with his body to hit the ball consistently as he was a machine. So that's the similar things to the Hogan swing that the Gem will help you do. And just looking at my clubs that I have got behind me, that's the backswing position. There's nobody holding that. That is the through swing position. And just by moving into this position here, that's where the club wants to go to. And then the weight from the Gem will bring the club face back square at impact and then into the toe up position on the follow through. So Ben Hogan, Gem, very much work together, and I hope that this helps everybody to understand about the Hogan key points. Toe up, impact, toe up. The Hogan waggle, he always talked about the Hogan waggle and opening up the club going back and closing it coming through, open and close, and combining that with what I would describe the Hogan neutral grip with the short thumb. Then he discovered the secret of being able to play great golf with control and hitting it a very long way, and that's what I believe the Gem will help you achieve. So it's exactly the same with the driver, Neil.
Yeah.
Again,
I mean, the driver, I could always hit an iron far more consistently. The drive is the one.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
slice, you
Well,
know.
the longer the club, the more you slice. The shorter the club, the more you hit it to the left.
Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. And just what you're actually doing now, because you've got your right elbow better in the backswing,
Yeah.
you can take a longer swing. And
Yeah.
also your rotation of your body is much better.
Do you think is my rotation okay?
Yeah, your rotation's good. But I'll just
Because I feel like there's a lot more going on in my hips. It would always be.
there is
My
now.
nose was have been a
There
lot
is now,
squarer and just.
because just get ready to swing. So because you used to move the club like this,
Yeah.
going back,
Yeah. Yeah.
and feel your back now, feel your
Yeah,
left
yeah,
hip.
yeah,
So you're
absolutely,
stuck.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
stuck. So we're just doing that
Yeah.
and bending your elbow, your right elbow.
Yeah.
That's you've now got rotation. So it's right elbow bend, left elbow bend.
Yeah.
That's great. Right elbow. So
And
that's
again, do you know what? I can feel the wobble, but I can also correct it out now that I know what I'm trying to do.
yeah. But that's your sequence now, isn't it?
I'm trying to correct
so,
it.
So what this is doing, Neil, is because your mechanics with your right elbow in the backswing and your left elbow in your follow through is better, your whole rotation and your weight
Sure.
transference is much better.
Sure. That's okay. Right. Down in there.
Do that off.
Yeah, I mean, I did not hit drives like that. Yeah.
That's perfect. That's perfect. So what's actually happening as well?
Just stop it there.
Just cut. You're not getting any better than that.
No, you're totally right. You're totally right.
But there's another one. That's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, what can I tell you? I don't hit drives like that.
No, and the thing about it is, Neil, is that what you do is you just swing it up, because
Yeah.
that's what it's done.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
given you
yeah.
muscle memory. And the thing, I read somewhere that muscle memory only lasts for about 8 seconds,
Yeah.
and then after that, you lose it.
Phases off.
So-
But
so-
presumably, if you do it enough, the repetition
Oh yeah,
will
yeah,
just
yeah,
become.
yeah,
your-
yeah.
I think.
Yeah, yeah.
I imagine the wobble. Everybody thinks, oh, what's this wobble?
yeah.
So now that I
Yeah,
understand what I'm trying to do, if I understand you, Fraser, is
Yeah.
I'm trying to stop that wobble.
Yeah.
And when I've stopped the wobble,
You hit the ball much
that's
better.
it. The,
Yeah,
the,
yeah,
the,
yeah.
the job is done.
And then it's explaining to people, and it's when I pick it up, I use it all the time.
Yeah.
And when I pick it up and swing with it, I never feel the wobble.
Sure.
Occasionally I do.
Yeah.
And it's because my grips maybe changed.
Yeah.
Because everything changes all the time, or I might be out, my stance might be out.
Sure.
So I have my checklist that I go to, and since I've had this, I've played great. I play great all the time,
Yeah.
because I do the same thing. And it's Woozy talked about the slot, puts you in the slot.
Yeah.
Once you're in the slot, and that's what I'm saying about your right elbow, once you're in the slot, it's dead easy to hit the ball.
Yeah.
But once you go out of the slot, that's when the ball goes all over the place.
Sure.
So there you
Great.
go. Good.
Awesome. Thank you.
I just want to this morning to show you how I use the short rod when I'm teaching, also when I'm practicing myself. One of the strong parts of my game, I've been playing professional golf for over 40 years, and I still compete regularly at high level events. And the way I'm able to do this is I have a very good short game. My wedge play is very, very good. What I want to be able to do is pass on some of my secrets, and this is where Golf's Essential Move comes from, about passing on a secret how to chip better. And one of the things I advocate all the time when I'm teaching is how the club moves in the swing. A lot of golfers try and keep the club face looking towards the target all the time, but what that tends to do, if you move the club this way, it gets the club into what we call a closed position. So when you're actually hitting down at the ball, you lose the bounce, which is the back of the wedge, and you'll tend to hit down behind the ball, causing a duff, or you'll hit down on top of the ball and you'll top the ball. So what the gem does, the gem moves the club into what we call a neutral position, where when I turn around and put the club down, the club is square in relation to my stance. If I take the club back, what we call hooded, then when I bring the club around, put it down, you'll notice that it's in a closed position. So to square it up, I have to push my hands forward, and then that becomes complicated to chip consistently. You'll also tend to hit a very low chip that will run through the green. So part of my practice routine that I do, I normally chip with 3 balls around a putting green. And what I do is I work on all the time is making sure that I have the club, when it's parallel to the ground, I have the club face pointing straight up, and that's where the gem short rod, all I have to do is to glance down to make sure it's in the correct position. If the rod is too much pointing in front of me, the club face is closed. If it's pointing too much behind me, the club face is open. So this is the crucial position that we're trying to get the club into every time. And again, when you're practicing, it's good to actually stop and check that position. And then when you go to hit the shot, it's a consistent shot to be able to get the club to slide underneath the ball. And that's how I chip. I chip with the gem, making sure that the club moves into the toe-up position at waist height in the backswing, and you can just see by the results there, and also the grass as I'm chipping off quite tight turf, I get the bounce on the sole of the club to hit underneath the ball, and I chip consistently all the time. We've sorted your grip.
Yep.
Now what I'm going to get you to do is just swing 10 to 15 times with the gem attached. But the key thing I want you to work on is when you take the club back to waist height, there. So now I want you to feel that the club in that position can go up.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for there. And then when we come back down to the ball, you'll feel the club wanting to go square itself with the weight. And then as we go through to this position, it automatically sits into the toe-up position. But your right arm wants to straighten and your left arm automatically bends.
Yeah.
So can you feel that?
Yeah, yeah.
So we'll just do a couple of little swings there. Just
Yeah, I still feel the wobble.
yeah. But what I want you to do is go back this time and just think about bending your right arm in the backswing.
Yeah.
Just going back. That's it. And then on your follow through, bending your left arm. That's it. And then letting yourself look up on your follow through. Great. So you'll still feel it wobbling, but not as
I
much.
would say it's only wobbling when it kind of gets
Yeah,
to here.
yeah.
Because in fact, look, we've done that
yeah,
naturally,
yeah,
so we want
yeah,
it here, right?
Yeah. That's why if you hook the ball, it helps you to stop hooking as much.
Yeah.
But you've already got the feel of it much better,
Yeah.
and that's much. Now you can feel your right arm extending. Now I want you to look up. Yeah, that's
Still-
it. That's
still
it.
looking
That's
at
it.
that.
That's it. You're,
My father used to drum that into me that you have
keep
to
your
look
head
at
down.
the...
Keep your head down. Well, you need to watch the Friday fixes. We've covered that. but that's see what you're doing now. You're opening up your body in the follow through.
Yeah. Do you know that the wobble's completely gone now?
Yeah.
The wobble's
Yeah.
completely
Yeah.
gone. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, the thing is, for us, the more we do this, it's just with repetition and understanding what the wobble is.
Well, that's the whole point, is to get that muscle memory, isn't it?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
there you go, it's gone. It's gone.
yeah.
It's gone. And it's exactly as DJ just said. It's like skimming a stone.
Yeah. So what you're doing now, is right arm is bent, and then you're throwing it going through. Right arm is bent.
Sorry, I'm worried
You're
about
throwing it, and you're throwing it going through. Great.
I totally feel it.
Great.
That's amazing.
Great.
It's gone.
So now what we're going to do is we're
Let's
going
hit
to
the
take,
ball, yeah.
we're going to take the gem off, the weight off, and the interesting thing that look, I'll let you go. Okay, so now we've got a hook.
Wild.
Yeah. And that's the one if we had the trackman on that,
Yeah.
you would see right away
All going over there.
all going left.
Yeah.
And that is the big thing, just with swinging it for 10 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, that's better. Thank you.
Yeah, much
Oh.
better. So that's you starting to use your wrist better now.
Yeah.
And the thing, if we were doing a follow-up, what I would say, we do this for 2 weeks, just
Yeah.
practicing at home. Then you come back and you have that ingrained in your swing,
Yeah.
and then we add in other things, so you don't actually have to think about anything. This is where it becomes so simple
Sure.
that you're just putting it on.
I'll do a few more.
Yeah. But what I'm so pleased about now, you worked it out yourself about the wobble.
Well, the wobble is back actually. So I think that's the key, is I need to fight the wobble.
I would say you're doing it too fast.
Do you think?
Just slow it down a little bit. Just slow it down. That's it. Because it's slow going back
Yeah.
to set the club, and then it's coming through in sequence
It's a
on the
real-
on yeah.
Isn't
Yeah. And that's because it's an unnatural move for you.
Yeah.
And it's really only a natural move for probably 0.1% of golfers.
Sure.
And that's why all my lessons are to stop you slicing it.
Yeah.
And with just you swinging that takes out half my lesson, because you understand to hit it straighter. It's not about taking the club back straight.
Yeah.
It's about letting the club move into the neutral position, what I call the neutral position.
Thanks for watching. This training aid right here is called the GEM. Stands for Goff's Essential Move. It's been on my channel recently, and I really like it. I think it's the best training aid in golf, and it just came out. It's a new thing. People who have gotten the training aid through Be Better Golf have been asking me, hey, how do I use it? They don't have that much information on how you should swing it, and some people have been confused once they get it. Hey, like, what exactly should I do? So this is the Be Better Golf training guide to using the gem. All right, so first of all, putting it on, just make sure it's super simple. Just put these two latches and put it so that this bar is hanging down, aligned with the face, just like that, okay? Then once you have it on, I use the short bar, or you could use the long bar. That's more up to you for how much of a feeling you want. I would start with the longer one, and if that just feels a little like too much help or too much wobble in it, use the shorter bar. So this video is going to be split up into 3 parts. There's 3 ways to use the gem, I think, which I think are the best ways. First of all is just air swings, where you're just swinging the gem. This is a big part of what you'll be doing with it. The second part is you're going to be swinging with the gem and flip-flopping to hitting wiffle balls. And then the final part is you're going to be swinging the gem and then actually hitting golf balls. But mostly, for the people that I've seen have big success with this, what they do is they just put this on one of their loaner clubs or one of their old clubs in the backyard, and they just have this back there and they're swinging it for a certain amount of time a day. The main thing is, because people are saying like, hey, what am I looking for? What am I feeling? You really have to kind of find it yourself, but there are some clues that I can put you onto and some certain drills that you can do it that we're going to talk about today. All right, so this is part 1, which is the air swing part of this video. And really what you want to do is get a club that you don't use, like one of your old clubs. Use like a 7-iron, 8-iron, something with a little bit of loft and not too long. And you're going to put it on a club in your backyard and just start swinging it. Stay short, stay on what's called like the functional swing plane. So like belt high to belt high, a lot of swings like that. And when you hit the gem, what you're trying to do is keep this ball pointed towards the ground. What that means is, see how the ball's towards the ground there, you swing it, the entire swing, the ball is down. If this ball on the rod starts to get up, it's gonna feel wobbly, and the club will start to feel heavy in weird spots, and it'll be messed up. The whole magic of the gem is that if you swing it off plane, it will start to wobble. So what you're trying to do when you're taking all these gem swings is you're trying to swing it so that it feels light and it feels like no wobble in it. So people have asked, how do you do that? Well, what you got to do is learn to be on plane, not to over accelerate. What you do at first is take like many waist high to waist high swings. What I like to do is get like a little egg timer and set it for like 5 minutes or something like that, and just start swinging it only waist high to waist to rib high. And make sure that this is staying down, and when you make your little loop here, it's going this direction like this. You're not going like this. Actually, the gem, if you swing it right, this will make it wobble if you go over the top of it. So if you go like that, it will wobble. If you're feeling it wobble, a lot of people say it feels pretty good, and right about here it starts to wobble. Almost always the reason it's wobbling is because you're going plane. If I go like this and I swing too much out to, that is going to make this rod tip over itself, and it's going to feel a little wobble on it. So what you want to do is go here and lead around the corner, and you can swing it even really, and it won't wobble. Okay, the second thing that I like to do with this is start to build up swings a little bigger. This is just always belt to belt, and then armpit to armpit. But something that I found that I think is really good for this is when you're taking your 30 swings or 100 swings at these different levels, start taking some backswing only swings. The gem is about 70%, I think, a takeaway tool. When I did all those different videos and I was really hitting it well, the only real visual difference that I could see that I was doing after using the gem that was sticking with me through like stickiness or muscle memory was that my takeaway in this first little part was totally different. It was more up and it was on plane and then coming through. Rather than without the gem on, it was more tucked and under. Here's the second drill. is to start going 1, 2, 3. Backswing, backswing, through. Okay? Always when you're swinging this, you want to make sure that you don't feel it wobble too much and it doesn't feel too heavy. And just be patient with it. Sometimes it'll take weeks before you can really swing this thing and it won't wobble. An important part of that is that on the way through, you're not going too much down the line like this. It has to be on the plane, which is up and left. So it's coming down, out and forward, and then it's up and left. This is really an amazing plane tool as well as everything else. Okay, another drill that you can do with the gem that I think is really good. Take your right hand only swings and put your fingertips on your arm like this. See, if I don't have my fingertips there, I can do this without moving my chest at all, and it's basically useless. So there, we're gonna here. Then put 2 hands on it and feel that same. Notice how, like, in almost all these swings, I'm never really taking it higher than like my ear. Once you go to actually hit a ball, as long as you have this great foundation and awareness of where to be on the actual plane, this stuff up here will get you back to there. So that's what we're doing with the gem. We're learning how to be on the and use the face we use, not a twist release, but an actual body release that keeps it around the corner and keeps it from wiggling. All right, the final air swing thing that you're going to do is just, this is the basic stock gem drill, which is what you're going to do is you're going to swing it 10 times. And for me, I like to do it in motion. 1, 2, round. Then take it off, and when it's off, do the same thing, like you can do just like 5 swings with it off. 1. The ball is down the whole time. That's this flying wedge that's coming around. Okay, so a little recap of what you should do with the gem just as air swings in this first part of the training. First of all, stay short. Shorter is better. The more swings you do, a huge majority of them should be belt high to belt high or rib high to rib high. Nothing like too really huge in the swing category. Then what you're looking for is to keep the ball down the whole time. See, the ball's down. Make a nice little loop, meaning it goes this way. So the club doesn't have to wobble off this way. It just goes a little bit more inside than it was on the finishes through. So do lots of swings like that. Do right hand only swings with your fingertips on your forearm. And then also, then learn how to flip-flop, swing 10 gem swings and then take it off and do 5 swings without the gem on. So if you spend like 5 to 15 minutes at night just using the gem, just get out there and waist high to waist and feel. If you just try to do this arms only, it's going to be very difficult to manually keep it from wobbling. Okay, so a lot of people have asked me about this gem magic move, or this feeling that I had that I was going to take the gem and stick it into my lead leg. And that was really the aha moment that got this thing working for me. So I'll try to explain it in some detail here. And what it is basically is you start with you pressure to the left and you go to the right. And then as you're starting to pressure to the left again, so when your arms get about armpit high, your hands get about armpit high, you pressure to the left again. And that's when you do this gem magic move, so to speak. So the ball is staying down towards the ground. And then when it comes here, watch this. Okay? So the wrists go backwards and the shaft lays off just a little bit, like 2 inches. And then they start to cast. And in that little casting right here is just a little bit. You see how if this thing was very long, I'd be feeling that I'm just going to start that thing in the direction of my lead leg. So see, when I make this big turn, my leg is also turned this way too. And as I recenter, I feel like this is headed like as if I didn't move, I'd go like this and I'd cast this thing right into my lead leg there. See that little move right there? But when you recenter your weight and make that little move, you move your body so fast that that little stabbing casting motion can never actually catch up to your lead leg. So it goes left, right with the pressure, then right here I go left again, and I do the gym magic move, which is this with a little casting. See how if this was a curved ball here, I feel like I go like that and it would hit right into this leg. But I start to turn and I get the thing hit me. And that's the magic move here. So I'll do it here in motion. Left, right. And that's the thing that keeps the gem on the inside. And then you're like, oh, that thing's gonna hit me, so I get my body out of the way. And that keeps the face square the whole time. Hope that makes sense. 1, 2, 3. And then we can hit one very slowly like this.
A real popular training aid, and what people didn't want to do is they didn't want it to wobble in their hands whenever they went through. Well, if I set the gym up the way they talk about and take it back, keeping the face relatively square, and then let the club kind of do the little teardrop behind me, where this is where Brendan calls this knuckles down, where we get the right wrist bent. Now I'm coming into the ball. If I go like this, it moves. But if I stay here and let that do that same motion, there's my motion into the ball. Now I can let my hands release. So I'm not holding on like this, because that would move my arc out away from me. I'm bringing the club down to P6, and now I'm working myself around, so the club is moving around in a circle, and I'm going to let this release around me.
Yeah, so to get this moving so it doesn't wobble, normally people would go get this bar like that, and then that, and then you have to do something to, so we're saying no, keep this contained, and then that way.
Now go back and do that again. Go back and do it slow. So you come on down, there's your motion back, and you're here, you're back to P6. Now you're going around, and the club head's going out, the body's going around, and you can let the club come through like that.
All right, I'll swing it kind of a little faster, see if it wobbles. No, it's good.
Quiet.
Yeah. That was the best one.